Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 39 of 40 Years and 40 Beers. As always, your host, Bob Bain and Joe Bassi. Kicking off this episode, I was going down the Batman rabbit hole and I stumbled on a bunch of Dark Knight videos. And I'm watching Heath Ledger and it dawned on me, like, that was a fantastic performance. I'm saying the one where he's singing on the bleachers and shit. What was that called? That's 10 Things I Hate About You. I know he had stuff in between, but to go from that to the Joker, he had a fantastic performance. He did very, very well in that role.
I mean, he was unbelievable in Brokeback Mountain, right? I know people, I know the world today, but let's be honest, it's a fucking phenomenal flick. Yes, I agree. And I guess is that the Dark Knight? The Dark Knight, right?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight is when he comes in, and the mannerisms, right? Like, it's more. So here's the synonymous, right, part, in my opinion. So Robert De Niro, okay, in Meet the Parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand they're completely two different movies, but just roll with me for a second. What makes Robert De Niro so funny in Meet the Parents is the acting and his facial expressions. It's not fucking the lines he says. It's the reactions and the things he does, right?
This became iconic.
But remember when, like, he's talking about, like, Greg's talking about the nipples and the cat? It's not when he goes, I have nipples, Greg, can you milk me? That's not funny. If you watch the scene, watch Robert De Niro's facial expressions, because that's normal. That's what would happen. Heath Ledger, the shit that he does, that's regardless of the lines, right? Where he's
the
like
licking
doing
of
like
the lips,
the licking of the lips, the tongue slapping, where he's doing the twitching, and that's fucking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. And he lived that character for 9 months. And a lot of people do that. Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the best.
So, is it Michael Jai White?
Michael Jai White. I know that name. Who is that? He was the guy who, in the purple suit, who got slammed down on the,
So, no, that was one of Michael Jai White's.
No, but he's the guy who he put that,
So he,
what the fuck was his name? He's like, little, what's it called here? Won't be able to buy another suit for his mama. And that's where he's like, enough with the clown.
They were interviewing him recently, and he said that it was the most relaxing, comfortable, chill set ever. He said that Heath Ledger was Christopher Nolan was asking Michael's advice on things. Because Michael walked into that scene and he asked Christopher Nolan, like, have we been sitting at this table waiting for the Joker for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days? And Christopher Nolan was like, I never thought about that. Do whatever you think. And then he was saying, like, all my henchmen have British accents. Do I need to have a British accent? He's like, I didn't think about that. He's like, do whatever you feel. So he was saying, like, somebody at Christopher Nolan's level to not have put thought into these kinds of things. Or maybe he did put thought into them and he was just
correct. He was like, you know what? He's
Michael.
Like, you know what? He's like, you know what? You're the talent.
Yeah, I hired you. Figure it out. I trust you to figure it out. So, but
we'll also film multiple takes.
Right. But either way, Michael's point was that it was very relaxing. It was very chill. It was very like buddy. And he said that it aggravates him when people say that Heath Ledger's death had something to do with how difficult that role was. He said because the minute they yelled cut, he was like back to being your best friend again. He was having a good time. He was laughing and all this kind of stuff.
Because he died because unfortunately he had a opiate issue or a pill issue, or it sucks, but that's why he died.
But he said that his opinion was it wasn't even method acting at all. It got me thinking about the best performances, period, on screen. Best TV, or because you can't leave out James Gandolfini, right? When you talk about best performances on screen. So TV or film, best performances of all time. Like, it doesn't have to be a great actor. It doesn't have to be a great movie.
So TV or film,
movies.
Is there a cap? Like, is there like, we'll stick with
our normal, our favorite top 5, top 10. I think what I mean is, like, is there so I think you had to have seen it. You had to have seen it.
You couldn't have heard about it, right? Like,
right. But like, we have seen movies from long before we were born. So it has to be, you can't just limit yourself to the 80s. That's not going to work this time.
No. I mean, so listen, so I was born in 82, you were born in 81. All right. But we've all obviously seen movies from the 70s, maybe even the 60s or whatever. As long as you've seen it,
right,
it counts. But it can't be like, oh, like, so for example, On the Waterfront, I've actually seen that movie with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
All right. It's an unbelievable movie, doc movie, one of the first like gangster mob movies like I ever saw. So that counts, right? Even though it was made in like 1955, 56, I think 55. That counts. See if I'm right.
You think so?
See if I'm right. When was On the Waterfront made? I think it was 55.
54.
54. So I've actually seen that movie. So I can, and I'm not saying I'm just using this as an example. What I'm saying is I could say Marlon Brando, right?
That could be in your list.
Like, so, for example, if you want to say Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah. Now, that's a good example because I enjoyed that performance and that's my favorite movie of all time. And I loved Dorothy in that role, but I don't think she did anything special. I think there were a lot of, not the singing part. For sure, she was a phenomenal singer. But I think there were tons of broads that could have pulled that off, minus the singing.
Tell you what, let's see. Who's movie, TV show, whatever. Who's one of yours?
So Heath Ledger, he's up there.
Okay, for what? It's got to be his performance,
The Dark Knight.
not his
The Dark Knight.
Okay, I'll give you one.
That's what got me thinking about this.
I'll give you one TV show I guess the TV show started in 1999.
Don't say.
Michael K. Williams. Omar Little.
Now,
that performance is unbelievable.
It wasn't really a stretch for him to play that character.
Fair point. But he still had to. I've seen him.
I'm not saying he did a bad job.
I've seen him in other films and other shows, and it's not the same. He's never played. It's not even close to what Omar was.
Then do the other roles take the cake?
No, that's what I mean. His performance as Omar was unbelievable. Does that make sense? Like, we're talking about performances, right?
That's why they got chocolate and ice cream, because we're all entitled to our opinion. So,
who else you got?
James Gandolfini.
Gandolfini's performances in The Sopranos is unbelievable because they went through 50 fucking actors, if not more, and they could have gotten it wrong, and they got it 100% right. Think about being the casting director. He might be the best. Think about being the casting director there.
Yeah.
Right? Like the casting director.
What's the name wanted Ray Liotta?
Correct. David. I think, right? David wanted Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta. And why would, I love that we're on a first name basis with David Chase, by the way. So can we also point out that we are on a first name basis with one Sopranos character, Mr. One Joe Gianniscoli.
Yes, sir.
Vito, he's our boy. We miss you, bud. Hope to see you again. But no, I agree. I think James Gandolfini's up there. This is going to be one. You said this to me before, and it boggles my mind. I actually believe the number one performance of all time is Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln. I think Daniel Day-Lewis is the greatest actor that I've ever seen in my life.
I think he's a douchebag and he blows.
Okay. Because you're fucking...
I can't take Gangs in New York serious.
Here's why.
With fucking...
Let's just be honest.
Brothers in it. I can't take...
It's because you fucking are from Italy or Sicily and you don't want to give anybody from the United Kingdom any credit.
That's not true.
You don't want to give anybody from England, anybody from Ireland, anybody from Scotland any credit. But that's not true. Bobby D, we all love Bobby.
I haven't seen... No, Heath Ledger is something foreign. I haven't seen...
He's Australian.
Yeah, I haven't seen...
But he's not Irish. He's not Irish or English, and you fucking Italians will never give anybody any credit.
I haven't seen...
What about There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood was horrible. I hated it. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. It stunk. I abandoned my child. Get the fuck out. Come on, bro. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
So it's also because, and there's nothing wrong with this, there's people who love history and there's people who don't. You're just not really into like history. It's not your thing.
What did that have to do with appreciating the performance?
Because the movie is all about the history of how the oil industry was started.
His performance, I didn't like it.
His performance was incredible.
It was horrible.
The whole movie's about greed.
It stunk, Bo. It stunk.
Listen, fair enough.
And Gangs in New York, that wasn't a difficult role for him to play either.
He was incredible in that role.
I can't take the movie serious because the stepbrothers are in it. And
what do you mean the stepbrothers? There's only one stepbrother. He's the fucking the police guy.
It's so it's the most cheesy film Scorsese has ever done. I mean, everybody's got to have something at the bottom of the list, even if it's phenomenal. Everybody's got to have something at the bottom of the list. You don't agree that that's his worst directorial whatever?
Absolutely not.
What's worse than that?
I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty. Like So if we go through the list, I bet you there's something. Let's go through the list.
Even Mean Streets is better than that.
I'm not saying that fucking Mean Streets isn't better, but to say that I think it won like fucking 10 Academy Awards.
They give him way too much credit, cuz.
Gangs of New York.
Not Marty, Daniel.
Gangs of New York. Let's see. Reception. Accolades. Best Picture nominated. Best Director nominated. Best Actor.
Did it win?
Doesn't matter.
It didn't win any of them.
See how many movies are put out a year, Mass?
Because Sinners was nominated. Everybody says that was fantastic. That was also horrible.
Best Actor in a Leading Role. Daniel Day-Lewis won.
No
Best
good.
Actor in a Leading Role. He won.
No good.
He was the lead. Leo wasn't even the lead. I think you got a problem with the Irish. As you flat out said, your favorite scene in that movie is when the fucking Irish guy's coming off the boat and he hits the broad gets hit in the face with a rock and she's like, "Go back to Ireland, you stupid Mick." So let's be honest. You might be a little suspect.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But I don't like him at all. I don't like anything he's ever done. And
guys, have you ever seen In the Name of the Father?
No, what's that about?
Unbelievable movie. It's a true story about like the IRA over in Ireland where there were 7 people. Was it the Guildford? Maybe it was 4. The Guildford 4. Who they were wrongfully convicted of an IRA bombing because the English hated the Irish and they put them in prison. And it's a great story.
The clip you sent me from Lincoln, I thought he was a strapper in that too. He looks like a hammer, bro. He's talking horrible. No good.
He's talking like Lincoln.
No good.
I want everybody to hear this. I want everybody to acknowledge that we're going to
put it out, just like the Tribe video. We're going to put it out.
My best friend does not have any culture.
All right, you picked Daniel. Okay. So this guy is not Italian. Colonel Hans Landa, Christoph Waltz, Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds, unbelievable. I agree.
He did a fantastic job.
He was unbelievable.
When Shoshana is underneath the planks and he's in the house, like you're getting nervous for her. You know what I'm saying? And then when she goes to when she's having pie with him later on, and he's like, "Wait for the cream." Like,
so you really can't go wrong with a Quentin movie. I mean, you're always going to have some incredible.
But he crushed that role, dog.
Oh, he did.
Wasn't that his first major role ever?
Yes, Christoph Waltz. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it might have been his first major American role.
Okay.
Ever.
Fair.
Maybe first in the States because where's he from? Is he from Germany?
I don't know. But
let's get this right.
But then,
because that's the one thing we struggle with.
In Django, he played the same but exact opposite character.
Correct. He's Austrian German. Yeah.
Okay. What about your boy running around in the underwear in the pilot? I thought you loved him.
See, I mean, that's. I think it's a good performance.
You're not going to say anybody could have played that.
I don't know.
Speaking of anybody could have played Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Correct. So I'll give you a great Leonardo DiCaprio performance, in my opinion. The Departed.
Yeah, I think. Even better than that was Basketball Diaries. When he was going through withdrawal. He was very
young. Yeah, well, he was so young.
Well, that speaks to how great it was.
No, I agree. Basketball Diaries is an incredible movie.
When he's going through withdrawal, dog, that was fantastic.
Well, listen, Mark Wahlberg, I mean, was great in that movie. That was only his second movie.
Yeah.
You know, his first movie was, what's Mark Wahlberg's first movie, you know? Renaissance Man. With Danny DeVito.
Was that his first movie?
First movie. Penny Marshall.
Haywood.
Yes, Haywood.
Yeah.
Penny Marshall, who directed A League of Their Own, right? She was Laverne, I think, from Laverne and Shirley or one or the other. Yeah. So she met him and gave him his first break. He talks about it all the time. She saved his life.
The
Double Ds. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that recently.
Great movie. Remember Hobbs? Hobbs was the smartest guy in the class and ended up getting pinched.
Yeah, but it was Danny DeVito asked the colonel to look into him, and then he found out that he was there under a false name.
They wanted to put him in officer school.
Yeah. So Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins.
Ooh,
I think he did a fantastic job.
He did. He did.
That's a great performance. I think that's a great performance.
No, it's fucking unbelievable.
Now, sticking with the...
Because I got one for you now after that.
Go ahead.
I already had this, but now that you brought that in, I was going to bring it out later, but I'm going to bring it out now. And you're going to be like, this might be the best performance ever. She won the Academy Award, and she's such a beautiful woman to begin with. And when you saw this movie, she wasn't even the same fucking person. Charlize Theron in Monster.
Yeah.
She wasn't even the same person, Mess.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a whole separate category. We could do major transformations for a role, because then you got to put the whale in there.
But it's also just acting, right? Like when they're in so many films, and when you can always realize that no matter what film they're in, the character is what you see, right? No matter what, so. I mean, Charlize Theron's incredible at that. Denzel's incredible at that, right? Like every movie, Denzel pretty much looks the same almost, right? He's 70 years old. He's fucking cool as hell, fucking cold as ice Denzel, no matter what.
Yeah.
But there's never a time where I'm watching like The Equalizer, for example, or I'm watching Training Day, or I'm watching John Q, or I'm watching fucking Civil War, or I'm like...
John Q was phenomenal.
No matter what, it always looks like Denzel. There's no makeup. Yeah. There's no...
I was watching Philadelphia last night.
Same thing as Leo. And that's why, like, Leo may get, like, for The Remnant, he would have been made up a little bit because it was, late 1800s. But you can still tell it's him.
Departed, Aviator, Wolf of Wall Street, all of them.
Aviator, he's fucking incredible.
Aviator was a great movie.
Great movie.
Would we have been saying this about Gandolfini if the show never got picked up and all we saw was the pilot?
I don't know. And that's what happens. Because it happens. Think about who's somebody right now who was acting, right? So you hear about this all the time. They wait tables, right? They're telemarketers, or they're selling insurance, and they act on the side. So James Gandolfini probably got that role at 40 years old.
Leah Savoli, she was her crazy story. Yeah.
So it just happens. Look at friggin' Dave Harbour, right? From Stranger Things. Like, you think he was getting friggin' $400,000 an episode, and now he's on DTF St. Louis. He probably got $8 million for that. He goes and does a movie now. He's getting $3 million. Dude, 10 years ago, he was friggin' making SAG wage, $5,000 a week if he worked. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
What I mean is the fact that he was able to do 86 hours lends to it being one of the best performances of all time.
86? What do you mean? 86 hours of what? What do you mean?
They filmed 86 episodes of The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. And then also,
I'm saying, would we be putting him in the greatest performances of all time category had the show not been picked up? Do you think you saw enough of that from...
So let's say, who's somebody else?
But wait, so when he came back to do what was the second Silence of the Lambs movie called? Was it called Hannibal?
No, in the series, the second one was either Hannibal or Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, I think, was the third one with Edward Norton. But when
Red Dragon was Edward Norton. Hannibal was the one with Ray Liotta, where he ate his brain.
When he's eating Ray Liotta's brains, I think that helped put him over the edge. You know what I mean? That was my point. Like, if he didn't take it for Silence, he would have taken it for the trilogy. It's kind of unfair to put TV in this, because even Breaking Bad had how many episodes?
No, so I'm going to tell you right now. I got another one. Michael Chiklis.
Oh, I knew you were going to say this.
Yeah.
Vic Mackey.
Vic Mackey.
Here.
It's an incredible performance. Incredible.
You talk about it being a good...
He's one of the greatest characters ever in TV history.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
What do you mean? He's the one who had to portray the character. He didn't create the great character. So the writers gave him the dialogue and gave him the direction in a way, but he's the one on set who, like you just said, they go up to Christopher Nolan. They go up and go and suggest, and hey, I can do this, I can do that. Maybe it doesn't work out, maybe it does, but they do multiple takes. And I truly believe that the successful series or movies or miniseries, whatever, it's because the director and actor work together.
So what about your boy? I haven't actually seen the entire thing, but what about McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club?
McConaughey's one of the best. You're killing me here. You're taking all my... McConaughey's one of the best actors of our generation.
Can you repeat? Can the same person have two completely different performances that are so fantastic you can repeat them on the list?
Yes.
So do you agree with Dallas Buyers Club?
Yes, because I also think his best performance ever in the history of anything is True Detective Season 1.
I never saw True Detective. I couldn't get into it.
True Detective Season 1, him and Woody Harrelson may be the best duo on a film, on a TV show, on anything I've ever seen in my life.
I thought, what's his name was in it? The guy that I look like.
Vince Vaughn is in Season 2. Season 1.
I never saw it.
You Vince Vaughn looking motherfucker?
He had the whole 1 versus 2 conversation before. Obviously, I'm putting Brando on the list.
So Brando, now, is it Godfather or is it other things? Because I think Brando is unbelievable in Godfather. But I think he's great in On the Waterfront. I think he's unbelievable in Apocalypse Now. I think he's great in Streetcar Named Desire. You ever see The Freshman? He's unbelievable in The Freshman.
Was good. But that's the same, that and Godfather, you got to put them in the same category. He was even great in The Island of Dr. Monroe.
Correct.
But
what's his the best? Is it one of the best performances of all time? I think it is because of the commitment. I think the cotton balls and the hair.
But in the book, he was shot in the throat. So that voice and the cotton balls was created because he felt like that's how you would have survived something like that. But he laid the foundation for everybody to be a mobster after him. Well, no one knew how to do that.
I don't know about that, because, I mean...
I don't know if they did.
Because we just talked about The Aviator, right? Howard Hughes. I mean, he's the first one. He introduced Scarface. Scarface was the first mob movie ever in the 20s.
Yeah, but they were very cheesy compared to...
But in the 20s, they weren't cheesy.
The new Scarface. But I'm saying it's like how you go from Africa Bambaataa to Rakim, okay? Wasn't cheesy in 89 until you had something better that you could appreciate and see how much more sophisticated it was. I'm not saying that Scarface was bad. It was fantastic for the time. But when you cut to 50 years later and you see what's her name did with Vito, it's night and day. Okay. He laid the blueprint for Hendry, Tommy, Paulie, all of them.
Maybe.
What about that? Do you think Pesci gets it for The Irishman? You think he gets it for anything?
I don't know. I love Pesci.
I don't think that was a stretch for him. I don't think Pesci had a hard time playing a hot-headed mobster.
Now, here's the thing, though. Was Pesci's best role Raging Bull?
I would think some people would put De Niro's Raging Bull on this list of best performances of all time.
I don't disagree, but was Pesci's best performance Raging Bull? I love Casino. I think he's great in Casino. I think he's unbelievable in Casino.
I think Nicky or Tommy could go either way. But I think...
You know what else he's great in? He's great in My Cousin Vinny.
He is great in My Cousin Vinny. And Leo Getz.
Leo Getz. You know what? That might be it.
You think Leo?
I think Leo Getz might be it.
So my last two would be Denzel in Training Day and Forrest Gump.
All right. Forrest Gump's fair enough. I think Forrest Gump's one of the most incredible performances of our lifetime. Denzel in Training Day. I know he won the Academy Award.
Not a stretch for him. I don't think it was a stretch for him. He definitely came from that kind of upbringing.
Well, absolutely. He definitely came from what we know about him, right? Came from a lower middle class background. And I love the movie. I love Denzel.
I think
it's interesting to me that it took him that long to win the Academy Award for Best Actor.
I could be convinced that it was John Q instead.
I think John Q is his best role.
When he it's just the whole thing.
Or The Equalizer. The Equalizer movies are friggin', the movies are so good, but
he had 3 of them to pull that off, though. That's what we were talking about. How many you've had to do the thing.
But the first movie. Like, it was just, like...
When he was timing everything with his watch, like that, there was so much time between 1, 2, and 3.
That's the filming, right? That's the director. That's the editing. That's the way the movie's written. I mean, like, the dialogue. When, like, he's sitting there and, like, so for example, he's in the diner and, like, he's just sitting there and the guy comes in, he's reading his book. And when he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he just looks up and he's like, all right, there's only one of you. And I looked at your hands or whatever. He's like, your hands are way too clean to be working on power lines. So I ask again, who else are we waiting for?
Yeah. Or like in the second one, when he goes to visit that guy at his crib. And he takes the wife and kids to school. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling him like that he's going to come back, and he's
Now here's gonna blow your mind. We talked about him earlier. Is Liam Neeson in there for the Taken series? Because
every movie he makes,
hear me out,
is the Taken role. Every movie he makes is the Taken role.
Before Taken, it was?
No, after.
Correct. So I go back. They realized it was a cash cow, and that was you have a 70-year-old man who's in shape. But before Taken, he never did anything like that. And then he gets that role, and he's, how old is he? 60? Right? Maybe he's 55. Maybe he's...
It was very good.
It was like 15. How long ago was Taken now? Like 15 years ago?
The first one?
Yeah. What year was that? Let's see how old Liam Neeson is first.
January 30th, 2009. He was 57 in 2009.
He was 50. That's what I mean. So is that not an incredible?
He's 73 now. Yeah, it was very good. I don't know if I don't think it's on my list, but I can't argue with that. It was very good.
Now, what about some stuff that you've seen before you were born? Give me two performances prior to 1980. You were like, holy shit.
I did. I said Godfather.
But no, these are different.
I don't know. I really like the original black and white 12 Angry Men. I think the lead actor in that was phenomenal. Now, I don't know.
You don't even know Jack Lemmon?
No, not Jack Lemmon. He wasn't the main character.
Okay.
You strapper.
Look up 12 Angry Men. I bet you the lead's Jack Lemmon.
It's not Jack Lemmon. Henry Fonda.
Henry Fonda. Okay.
Yeah.
But Jack Lemmon's in it, right?
No, wait. Henry Fonda. Is he? Yeah, Henry Fonda. Yes, Jack Lemmon's in it. No, is he in the remake with Tony Danza and James Gandolfini?
Jack Lemmon?
Yeah.
No, Jack Lemmon's Lemmon's in the original, I think.
No.
Maybe he's in this. Maybe it's the second one then.
Or are you thinking about Glengarry Glen Ross?
No, Glengarry. I know he's in that with Alec Baldwin, and Ed Harris is in it too, right?
Yeah. 12 Angry Men, 1957. Let's look at the cast. Henry Fonda, Jack Warden.
Henry Fonda's juror. Henry Fonda's not even the lead.
Yeah, he is. He's juror number 8.
How do you know he's the lead?
Because I've watched the movie a million times. He's the main character.
Ed Begley's in it too.
Yeah. 12 Angry Men, 1997. Jack Lemmon's in that one.
Okay.
Jack Lemmon is juror number 8 in the 97 version. So that's who you're thinking of. But Tony Danza's in it. Gandolfini, George C. Scott.
Yeah, that's the second one. That's the other one. Because those are the other two great performances. Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, but they were actually grumpy old men when they filmed it.
But were they? So maybe Matthau was.
Yeah,
you ever hear
he was the same guy in Dennis the Menace that he was in fucking Grumpy Old Men.
You ever hear the story about why Matthau did Grumpy Old Men?
No.
So the guy who played Jacob, right, the son, Jack Lemmon's son, now Walter Matthau's son, Jacob. He was also in, oh my God, Kaiser Sose, The Usual Suspects, remember? What the fuck's his name? He's actually a really good actor. Kevin Pollak. Kevin Pollak he tells this story once about how, he's a young actor, and of course he's on the set with fucking Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I mean, what young actor is not starstruck, right? So finally, he says one day they're standing next to each other and they struck up a conversation, right? So Kevin Pollak's like, hey, you know what? It's a good script, right? And Walter Matthau goes, the script sucks, kid. Only reason I'm doing this movie is because I owe $2 million to my fucking bookie. It's like, isn't that nuts? And then it's more
fantastic.
Yeah, he goes, only reason I did this movie is I owe $2 million to my bookie. Apparently, Walter Matthau was like a ridiculous gambler.
Wait, and then he tells a story about when he was on. Was it a few good men? With Jack Nicholson?
So he was one of the lawyers, and because the way it was filmed, he wasn't in the scene, right? Like, it was all about Jack Nicholson, but he made sure to sit at the table, like he wanted to see the scene being filmed.
Oh, no, yeah. But he told a story recently where they're not filming at the moment. They're walking back to their trailers. Their trailers happen to be next to each other.
Oh, where he was banging his best friend's daughter.
Yeah. And he's telling him,
He's like, so I'm rehearsing the scene with whoever the hell it is. He's my idol, and I'm sitting there.
Fantastic.
He's like, and I love how he does the voice. He's like, Jack's going, so I'm sitting there, right?
Yeah.
I start looking over.
He does good impressions.
He's like, and I'm looking over, and I don't know. Tell him that I'm banging his daughter. So I just keep doing the scene. Did you ever hear Matt Damon talk about The Departed?
Yeah.
Where he's just like,
now, you could stop the scene there, but if you keep the cameras rolling.
Like, if you keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah.
I turn around and I say to French, she felt kind of funny.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cynical. Yeah. That means I've done this before. He's like, he's fucking great. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for this week. I think we did it. We did a great episode. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Hope you guys all enjoy this spring weather.